Look straight north now. Oh, I see it already. There it is, hanging in the tree. Stopping on my application. Just sign the log. Carry on. Okay. Straight west. Look at the hint. Under the maze of woodiness. Well, not so much of a hint. Everywhere is woodiness. There it is. I sees it. Right in there. Okay, I'm going to pull it out, sign the log, and go back to my car, I think. It's Lorraine's favorite wildflower. You can find them all over Alberta, I guess. The sand trail's a little harsh to walk through. It's like walking 5 kilometers on the beach. Gets tough on the old ankles. There it is. This one's my first find of today. I was at a couple, 3 others north of here I couldn't find. 2 were under bridges, and 1 was in some trees at the intersection, and they either are all gone or I just couldn't find them. There was 2 that, the ones under the bridge, the water level around here has been really high, so maybe that was why I couldn't get to them, because some of the comments said the water level was low, so don't be afraid, but it was deep and running pretty good. So I didn't find those 2, didn't find the one at the intersection, so I came over here and then I found that one. So day was in total loss anyways. Ooh, that was a lot of walking. Probably did 5 or 6 kilometers today. My ankles say 6, so I'm gonna go with that. So I found what, 3 in the area. 1 I must have walked right by because he said don't go off the trail too far. One of the big mistakes I make is I start bushwhacking, and it's not really necessary, because if you just follow the trail further, there's probably a closer spot, and you get anxious when you see the compass saying head south when you're heading east, so you just start crashing through the bush or something, and usually it's not necessary. Sometimes the comments will show that it's better not to start just bushwhacking all the way. I did one yesterday. Stupidly, I went up a big switchback trail along the North Saskatchewan River, and I was following my compass up along this trail, and I got way up there, and all of a sudden it said to go south, and south was basically down the riverbank, and I thought, well, that's interesting. So I started walking through, and then I did see a washout area that was used for, it's probably where the runoff goes to the river after the snow starts to melt. So I followed that all the way down, found a trail, and sure enough, I look 100 meters away, and there's my vehicle parked there. Had I gone the opposite direction, I would have found that one without having to slog down a hill and nearly killing myself, which is overstated. But so I think that's it for today. That was a lot of walking, but you get pretty good exercise, especially when you come to these natural areas. I'm at the it's in the Thorhild County, and I think it's called I can't remember what the name of this natural area is. Just a second. Oh, Halfmoon Lake Natural Area. Okay, this one I gotta do a little bushwhacking by the look of it. Somewhere to the east of me here. What's the best way in? Passed it twice. There it is. Nicely hidden. This other one's just down the tree line, so looks pretty dry. May as well go down there and check it out. Not as dry as I hoped, but there's a trail over here. Well, maybe we can avoid the water. It's kind of a little bit of high ground here. Still got half a kilometer to go before we get to the cache. I know this is private land and everything, but it'd be nice to be able to just zip down here on my quad. Of course, that kind of negates the whole getting exercise aspect of this hobby. So, just keep walking. Another 250 meters to go. Okay, somewhere straight south here. Okay, a little bit this way. This pile of roots looks a little suspicious. And it was. Sometimes I find when people try and hide things, they end up making it more obvious than it was before, because there that sucker is right in the roots. Let's see what's in there. Okay, so we got a log, some golf tees in there, all kinds of other stuff that people have left behind. Broken sunglasses, a pencil, very exciting. Just love how peaceful it is in the country. Just the odd vehicle passing by. And mostly I can hear all the ringing in my ears. Apparently I have tinnitus or something, so get my ears tested one of these days. Maybe make the ringing go away. Okay, this one, I'm sure I have high hopes of finding it because it's in the needs maintenance mode. And it has been a while since somebody found this one, so I'll give it a shot. Let's see what we get. right on top of it somewhere, if it's actually here. According to this, I'm right on top of it somewhere, and I cannot find it. And now I'm just starting to look like a weirdo in the tree. Some lady saw me as she went jogging by, so I think I better just vacate this area. I'm going to call it a do not find. It was one that was under maintenance, or required maintenance, so who knows if it blew away. But supposedly I'm right on top of it and I can't find it, so we're going to call this one quits before someone calls the cops on me. After a while you just start looking like a weirdo in the bushes. One thing I've started doing so I don't look too much like a weirdo is I started bringing my camera with me. It gives me the opportunity to take a few pictures while I'm out, but also gives me an excuse maybe why I might be lurking somewhere. I can always say, well, I'm taking a picture of a bird or something. I wouldn't know one bird from the other, but it's always a good excuse, just so you don't look too crazy. I find with geocaching, well, the idea is to be stealthy and not let just regular folk, or what they call muggles, see what you're doing. And sometimes it's pretty hard when the geocache is in a public place. But I've discovered there's two kinds of people. 80% of the people could give a crap about what anybody's doing. They just walk by or drive by or don't even see you actually. And then there's the 20% that are like very guarded and checking you out quite carefully. So it's the 20% type people that I worry about. The other 80% just go about their business. But when you're out in the country like this, it gets a little bit more sensitive, because it's like, hey, I don't recognize that vehicle. Who's that guy crawling around in the bushes? That's just weird. Get your gun. That's the part that scares me the most. Is having someone put some buckshot in my butt or something. But anyways, let's see if we can find another one. I should amend that statement a little bit though, too. Generally, geocaches are not on private property, unless the owner of the property put the cache there themselves. Mostly they're on like out in the country. They would be on a side road like this, in the trees. It's kind of crown or public land, if you will. Sometimes they are on private property, but not in an invasive way, so I would assume that in most cases you're pretty safe, and you should be able to have the confidence to go looking for it, but just kind of be on your guard. And again, the idea is not to have people just watching what you're doing, so just be careful what you're doing out there. I've been driving by this old car forever. I'm just curious what it is. There's not much left of it, but it always piqued my interest. Not much left of it. Just a few bullet holes in it. I wonder how long it's been here. I want to guess it's a late 40s, early 50s Ford. Did a quick Google search and discovered this car is a 1953 Ford Customline Fordor. And here's a couple pictures from some show and shine. It probably gives an example of what the car used to look like when it was somewhat new. Been sitting down here a long time. Classic prairie bullet holes in it. That dent's from when they pushed it down here or what, but I think they used to call that in the old days a whiskey dent. I think I should be worried about that. Looks like old paint, so maybe it's not anything to worry about. No trespassings. Well, that last one was a bust. I should have checked the logs before even walking through here, because I think the last activity on that one was maybe 2-3 years ago, and it's in need maintenance mode, so there's a good chance that it's just disappeared. Sometimes it pays to pay attention to the logs, so we'll call that one another DNF, but life goes on. Nice view of the river though. Well, I think that's enough for these last 3 days. I think I collected I want to say 6 or 7 geocaches. Didn't find probably half a dozen. Some of them could be weather related, high water levels, that type of thing. So I might try them again another time, but I think that's enough good fun for this weekend, so we'll call her quits. So until next time, this is Mundane Man, and we'll catch you later.